them come. This is their fate.
All right. And about my bird hands. Man, I ain't got my gunshots yet. Pew, 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 pew.
Bang, bang.
All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. I am your host, Deontay. Here are my near and dear friends, Jalen and Josh. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of fun stuff to talk about, and interesting things. Yeah, we got some stuff. Basically, I don't want to dwell too much on the stuff, but we got some stuff for y'all. Before we get started, as usual, give you guys some time to catch the people up on where you've been, what you've been up to, and how's life going, what you've been playing. If anything, it's been real tough to get the game going lately for me. But yeah, what y'all been up to? Let's start with Josh.
Yeah, I haven't been playing much. Same old. Finished Overwatch Battle Pass, and so I gotta find my next online game to grind. And still working on Gotham Knights, but this week just been busier. A lot of stuff going on at home. Just keep the newborn happy, fed, and able to sleep.
Oh yes. Yes.
But other than that, I've been looking forward to a lot of stuff. Got a couple pre-orders up for my digital games, so I can have them ready when they launch.
What you pre-ordered? I don't know what you pre-order.
I mean, one was Callisto Protocol for a whole situation in this country.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I think I had it was one indie game on Steam that was launching that I pre-ordered that I was gonna get. I think it's already out. I haven't launched it yet. It's called Signalis, which is just like a survival horror game, kind of like old Resident Evil games. But it seemed very interesting.
Okay. I did a little pre-ordering myself. I did God of War Ragnarok, Callisto Protocol, and I did Evil West. I was going to do Sonic, but I didn't purchase the Steam stuff yet, so I got to go to GameStop with my store credit, get the Steam cards, and then pre-order Frontiers. I just haven't done it yet. I don't think you can do it online. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, I did a little pre-ordering myself. Yeah, I've been playing Call of Duty a lot. Not that much, but been playing the campaign. I'm at least enjoying that. I also wanted to mention, very random sidebar, but it was very shocking. Takeoff from the Migos passed away over Halloween weekend, and it was kind of like, wow. He was 28. He's my age. And he passed. So, and just rest in peace, Takeoff. I wanted to mention it simply because it was on my mind, and it was a little bit more it's kind of like more around because he had kids. I have kids, and I don't know. It's just like a messed up situation over something that he wasn't really truly involved in. But I just wanted to mention rest in peace, Takeoff. But outside of that, hanging out with the kids, yeah, just been chilling, playing some Call of Duty. I enjoy the campaign. I enjoy the multiplayer. I bought a Series S. Target had like a little thing going on where you could get a free copy if you buy a Series S. Had an interesting transaction happen there where I got it for a little cheaper. I won't go into details, but yeah. So I got a Series S now. It's downstairs, and I was able to play it there. And then I picked up The Quarry for $20 on the Xbox Series X to play with my wife.
Oh, it's on sale?
Yeah, it's on sale. So I was going to try to play that with her one of these weekends to see how interesting it is. I think it's like an 8-hour or something game. But
Mhm.
people say it's like Until Dawn. We play Until Dawn together and stuff like that. So this is right up our alley. And it was $20. I'm like, I'm not paying $60 for no game like that. But $20, now we talking. But yeah, that's all I got for mentions early. We got some other stuff we want to talk about, of course, but that's what I've been up to. What about you, Jalen? What you been up to? What you been playing? You beat that Pokemon yet?
No, I ain't played the game. I was out of time, so I ain't really played the game. Yeah, I ain't really been up to nothing for real, for real. I'm super excited about. I ain't gonna say I'm super excited about Sonic Frontiers because otherwise I'd have pre-ordered it. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean y'all shouldn't pre-order it. You know, because Sonic a great game. But I am pretty excited about that. I might even set up my Steam Deck that I have for like a month or two that I ain't take out the box yet and try to get that going so I can play Sonic and stuff on it. But as far as that Pokemon game go, I don't know if I'm gonna beat it. I'm at the Elite Four right now, and I sent that picture in the group chat where I can get rare candies and stuff like that. So really, at this point, I just have to assemble a team that can beat them, and I can just use rare candies to get my Pokemon up to the highest level. Especially since the game don't have EVs or effort values, because that's just basically something that influences how your Pokemon, like what stats, how their stats are when they level up. And before, like, if you ever played Pokemon, you might have heard the thing that you can rare candy your Pokemon all the way up to level 100, but they can be weaker because they not actually getting their effort values that they need. Because you get those by fighting other Pokemon. Yeah, them EV. So I don't know. I might go and play that and stuff like that. But like I said, I'm waiting for Sonic Frontiers. That'd probably be the first game I buy in a minute. And I'm contemplating on getting Modern Warfare 2, man. But they took off reload canceling, bro.
Oh, well,
They took off reload canceling.
can't you do the
Sick.
Can't you change the setting to from tap to reload to the other one? To
You can't
hold?
no, like you can't wire out of your reload and sprint out of your reload. They be like, nah, bro, I gotta
Oh,
reload this gun, bro.
Yeah, like if you reload and somebody pop out, you want to stop reloading to try to fight back.
I thought the whole reload could stop that, but maybe I'm tripping. Okay.
Maybe I don't. You might be able to. I don't know. Like I play the game in a certain mindset, like run and gun, and like I like a lot of movement and stuff and versatility. But I was playing over my friend's house, and I started reloading. I tried to cancel. I had tried to sprint out of it, then I tried to YY out of it, and they didn't let me do it. He like, nah, bro. I know you halfway through your reload. I got to pick back up where we left off. Can't stop, won't stop, bro. Reload, reload, reload. Like it's literally on that. And I just like, dang.
Yeah. Well, um, me and Jalen are at odds when the differences of Call of Duty. I actually enjoy the changes. He does not. But what we will say is, I mean, at least this is the most entertaining. I can say at least the most entertaining Call of Duty has been in the last 2 3 years, 2 years for me. Campaign straight. Like I said, I've been enjoying that. But hopefully, some of the changes come down the pipeline and make people that are used to Modern Warfare, Warzone, enjoy it a little bit more. But I think a lot of those similarities going to flow into Warzone 2.0, which launches on the 15th. So we'll see. Hopefully, it's not terrible, but we will see. But anything else, Jalen?
Man, that's pretty much it, though. I ain't got much else for real.
All right, well, let's get right into it. We ain't got much time anyways. All right, so first things first, we got to praise, give it all Sony high praise, give them the high praise. Put your hands in the air. I want to see the high praise. God of War Ragnarok, 10 out of 10s across the board as usual. As expected, as we thought. There was nobody that predicted, oh, this is going to get straight up. This is going to be straight mid. It's not mid. Everybody knows it's not mid. And the best thing about it is nobody cares about anything else outside of the story, which means I'm going to have a great entertaining situation for myself in the coming days. on a random stupid Wednesday. I don't understand why they're launching on Wednesday, but they are. Whatever. So a lot of people gonna be calling off. I'm not gonna be one of them. But I will have a few days off after that for me to sit down, hunker down, and just play this game. So yeah, I'm excited. I do want to talk about the technical stuff, but want to get your opinion, Josh. I know you're Sony skeptical, but you play a God of War at least, and I maybe hear even Jalen's perspective. I don't think a review matters to him, but we'll see. 10 out of 10s across the board. What's your thoughts?
It makes me personally a little more worried about the game because because people are putting it at like the highest
Yeah.
stuff, and not to say that the game can't be that, but for me, like God of War 2018, I enjoyed it a lot, but it wasn't a 10 for me, and a lot of people would have said it was like worth 10 quality. So I don't know. I feel like it's a game that I don't even have PS5 right now, so I wasn't gonna play it right away. But I'm gonna wait on it, let stuff cool off, because I want to go into it and enjoy it, enjoy the story without worrying about what other people think about it. And then the other stuff which I didn't enjoy as much, which was the actual gameplay and like going around the world. Hopefully that stuff is also a 10, but I don't know. And to be fair, I'm not actually watching all the coverage and stuff of it. Like I've seen a few trailers, but if the game is a 10, I just want to wait and enjoy it for myself. So,
absolutely.
But I mean, it's good. After Mid Horizon came out, it's finally
Mid Horizon. Mid Horizon was actually decent. It just came out with Elden Ring, and the Elden Ring overshadowed it. I mean, that's literally that's the situation there. Like they lost to Elden Ring. It wasn't a bad game, but they lost. So Elden Ring got the most coverage because everybody was having fun. It was longer. It was more impactful. It was just a perfect storm for Horizon, unfortunately, and it got hit by the wayside a little bit.
Yeah.
But they thought they can go up against the big dog. Big dogs don't play. That's all it is. Even with frame pacing issues, they don't play. What about you, Jalen? You gonna give it a shot? You know you got you a PS5. You gonna give God of War a shot now?
No. I mean, I low key too, but at the same time, I don't play like that for real. And then I ain't even played the first. Played
Ain't it on
PS5
PlayStation
first.
He don't got that.
subscription thing?
He don't got PlayStation.
Oh, yeah.
He don't got PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, I ain't play like the original God of War stuff, but I'm talking about like the 2018 one. I ain't even
Yeah.
touched that one, so I'm still kind of like I don't I don't really care to get in, but I might give it a shot, man. But I ain't too much. So I just think it's kind of appealing that it got tens and stuff. It kind of made me want to play it, but
Yeah.
in all honesty, I feel like I rather play Horizon because I ain't never played and I at least beat the first one. So
yeah,
I don't know.
It kind of depends on what you're into. Like you don't have to play the old games for this one. It's pretty much just like
no, he definitely don't have to
explains
play
whatever
the
you need.
1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
No, he don't have to play the ones on the PlayStation, but just playing 2018 would probably be definitely worth. You definitely want to play it.
And I don't know. I feel like even though maybe like the old God of War games are not for you, this one is more, which people always say it as like a bad thing, but it is more in the vein of like Uncharted, where most of the interesting stuff in the game, or most of the stuff that you're doing in the game, is like conversation based. You hanging out with somebody, you getting to see their relationship, getting to see the performances, and so that part on its own is interesting. Plus, the gameplay itself is still pretty decent, and so at least it should be enough to like get you through the main story if you don't want to do all the side content. Which, yeah, is a strength. Like their storytelling and connections between the characters are some of the best. So
Yeah.
I just ain't want to see like I know the old ones was like real like bloody and you know
Oh,
what I'm
this
saying?
it's not bloody.
Nope.
It's like
Okay, like
it's still rated M, but it's like way less blood.
It's the way it's a
oh,
lot more tamed.
Like you
So
don't honestly, I don't think you even fight. You fight like one or two human enemies. Like
yeah.
everybody else is just like a like golem and stuff.
Like you were slashing through some humans in the last games, not this one. Um so yeah, I
y'all
mean,
know I don't be liking like super gory games and stuff. So,
yeah. No, I know. Yeah, I don't know how you got through Bloodborne, but no, I get you. Me neither. So I get what you're saying there. Uh, but what I will say, and I want to go back to your point, Josh, about waiting for it and everything. This, even though I put out a video about it, so if you want to check that out, you can go on BCD Universe and look at it. But God of War Ragnarok is a last gen game, regardless of how polished and well done it is. It's still last gen, so a lot of the features and things like we expect from a newer gen game is missing. It's like no ray tracing, no global illumination, no real pushing the envelope situation here. Even
Mhm.
in regards to like even like originally when Spider-Man Miles Morales came out, at least they had ray tracing and things like that. Like that's not here. That's not something that they did, right? So this game obviously runs really well, but it also runs really well on the old consoles. Like the PS4 Pro is at 1440p. I believe upscale to 4K. And I think they have a 60 FPS mode and a 30 FPS mode on that console. And the differences are not that big. The PS5 just has a better, it's like a higher, clear image quality and like better shadows, but it's not like this stark difference where you'll be like the it's been compromised. Obviously, waiting for the PS5 is fine, but the good thing is that people that don't own the PS5 will still have a good experience with this game. But it also reminds me that I'm paying $10 extra for a game on the PS5 that doesn't have
I forgot about that. Yeah.
any feature that would make me say this is worthy of the $10. So I'm kind of mad about that. Um, Obviously, going through the technical review of Digital Foundry, you kind of see, and they kind of go through everything and kind of say, "Hey, this is what you're going to be getting. This is what you expect." There's plenty of modes. There's like 120 FPS mode. There's unlocked frame rates. There's a 40 FPS mode, 60 FPS mode, 30 FPS mode. The 30 FPS between the 60 FPS, there's like such a small difference that you can tell that they really didn't push this console, right?
hmm
Um, because again, it's a last gen game. But yeah, I just got to thinking about it. I said, y'all ain't even charged me $10 for Horizon, and at least they did something better than the PS4 Pro version. Like y'all did okay. I mean, it's not like I'm saying it's not better. I'm just saying that I don't see the $10 worth that you charging me extra for. Like they refuse to let you do like a without an upgrade. You can't buy the PS4 version and just get the PS5 version for free. They make you pay $10. So
Yeah,
it's
gotta
kind of scammy.
keep
They
their
know
numbers
people
up.
gonna play it. Yeah, it's kind of scammy, but it's Sony. What you gonna do? Big Sony gonna always be Big Sony. Um, but overall, I'm very happy with what this has been shown. I'm very excited to actually play it. I don't like being scammed, but what can you do? And yeah, overall, I think it's gonna be a real good time. So, kind of excited for that. Um,
Yeah, I'll
any
play it at some point whenever they drop it on PC.
Yeah. I think it's going to be on PC. It's going to look really good on PC because they're going to probably add some stuff to make it worthy. Because again, it's going from like God of War 2018 to PC to like that from PC. So I think it's going to look really good. Hopefully, it has a lot of new features that we're looking for. Maybe some global illumination, something that really showcases the console in a really cool way, like the time of days, whatever the case may be. They do a really good job of baking it in, so it's not like it's ugly, but we can tell. Uh, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited for at least some more God of War. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was, and it could be very quickly, but I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on it. I don't know if you know Witcher on Netflix, but my man's not coming back for season 3. Henry Cavill, the guy that plays
Yeah.
Superman, and I really hope it's not because of Black Adam. I think we read, because of him coming back as Superman. Spoiler. Anyways, the issue I have with like this is that uh, they're replacing him with Liam Hemsworth. I'm just like, I don't see it. First off, second off, I really liked him as The Witcher, and then the third thing was that later it came out that he was having huge debates with the directors and producers about how he wanted to stay true to the game, and the people that actually were making the show didn't like the games, and they didn't like they didn't
They
like
didn't
the
like the
writing.
books either.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, why the heck did you sign up for The Witcher if you didn't like the book? If you didn't actually like the source
Well,
material?
yeah, that whole situation is dumb because like you can say that about any show because like the Halo show and all this stuff, like a lot of these showrunners want to get away from the original stuff to make their own. Maybe they have their own ideas, or they think they could do it better, or they just want it to be,
Its
this is
own
my
thing.
work. This is not a copy of the original, and that's fair. But with a lot of stuff that have like established lore and fan bases, a lot of people want to what see the original stuff done well, and if you want to add new, completely unrelated stuff, it has to also be of the same quality.
Yeah.
So yeah, it seemed like they just was not interested in the anything to do with the Witcher other than having the name, and he was the only one that could like advocate for it. But it seems like, well, from people's impressions, it seemed like they were happy with Henry Cavill, and I thought that people really liked the show. I just was not like interested in watching the show because I know I watch TV. But
Yeah.
it also is like I only know the games, and so when I watched the show, I was just going to compare it directly to the game, and that I feel like it wasn't going to be like a fair watch. But anyways, I thought the impressions were positive, but now I'm hearing that people didn't like season 2 because the
I didn't
writing was
like
not
season
good.
2. Yeah. I didn't like
Yeah,
season 2 like
I didn't
that.
know about that. But it seems like it's because of the writers and directors, and season 3 was going to continue in that same quality. So he left.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah. It's unfortunate. I thought maybe they could pull it around. It did leave like a bad taste in my mouth. It wasn't like super terrible where it was going with it. I kind of understood maybe possible the changes, but it didn't feel as if it was really sticking true. I guess in no regard it is true, but at least the characters that they were portraying, the actors that were portraying these characters kind of sold it for me, more so than the set pieces and things that they were actually doing. um so yeah, when he left, I'm like, well, he was like a big part of why I watched it. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it if I don't even have someone that's basically grunting the whole time, like Geralt does. I don't think they can recapture that with this Liam Hemsworth. I mean, obviously he can give it his best go, but I think a big petition is going around. I think like 50,000 people have signed it, just requesting that the producers and the writers get kicked off the show and Henry comes back. But I'm like, I doubt it. Um, it's already what they built, so we're just gonna get Liam. I'm gonna see how it goes. I think it's gonna be trash, but hopefully, hopefully they have a true vision and it's actually interesting to watch. But I would love to just
I
have
mean,
that world in
can
like
it
a
even be? Can you change the main character in season 3 and it still be good?
no. This is like
Like if it's Geralt's cousin, sure, but
yeah,
not like replacing the main
dude.
character.
Literally, like this is a show ender right here. I mean, I feel like they're just doing this just to fulfill contracts for season 3. Like, this is the only reason why it's still going on. Like, I would have just canceled the show, but I don't know what they're doing, honestly. Maybe they already signed for 3 seasons. I don't know, but this is a show canceler when the main person leaves. But I guess not for them and Netflix, because season 3 Netflix shows normally follow the same cloth of a CW's season 3. It's just be boo boo. So we'll see. But yeah, I wanted to mention that because I went back to play The Witcher again, a little bit on my Steam Deck. I bought it, and I've been having a good time, running around with Siri, or not running around with Siri on Witcher 3, but just running around and I guess exploring that world again, really understanding the mechanics and the combat. It's not the greatest. I don't remember it being great, but anyway, but the combat, it's at least holding steady. It's not boring, but it's not like super fun and engaging either. I guess I got to keep playing it a little bit more. I just remember it being better but I think it's probably because I was in a different space and I wasn't playing a lot of these type of open world games. But Witcher 3, I think, always was very renowned for its storytelling, not like the combat. I think they did a big job or big upgrade from Witcher 2 to Witcher 3 though in combat. I think that's what I remember reading and things like that. But it's okay.
Yeah, the combat is all right. The main thing is it's the old games had bad combat, and this has decent combat. But yeah, it's the story and just like side quests that you can just randomly stumble upon super interesting side quests, which that might be more common nowadays. But Witcher 3 was the first one to like started. Not every side quest, but there are a bunch of side quests that are like as same quality as you would expect from like a main story quest. So
I was going to just play a DLC because I never did, but I think I'm gonna just run through the whole game again because I just don't remember it.
Oh, the DLC is really good too. I like. I didn't actually finish the second DLC, but the third DLC I like a lot. I kind of like it more than the main story because they take you to a completely different environment. It's a new city, all new stuff, so it feels like a new game, even though it's much smaller than the original game.
I think I think that's gonna kind of how I want to play it. I'm gonna just try to finish the main story and get a refresher, and then just going straight into Blood and Wine. Maybe I don't think I want to play Hearts and Stone first, but maybe Blood and Wine first. But yeah, Witcher. Hopefully they don't mess it up without Henry. But probably will. Moving on. Next thing I wanted to talk about was big Sony. They lost 2 million PlayStation Plus subscribers, Jalen being one of them. How do you feel, Jalen, to be one of the 2 million that have left Sony high and dry?
And when it's time frame, because I ain't had PlayStation Plus since October 21. I think it's October 18th to be exact.
After they did the relaunch.
Well, I don't count that.
I thought you had it right before that.
Man, I ain't had PlayStation Plus since October 2018, bro. 2021. That jump was gonna expire. And Jalil don't be on PlayStation. I'm like, man, I can't pay this $60 by myself. Like, what?
I gotta see the time frames. Then I gotta see where they started counting. But they said after the rebrand, so I guess you're not in that 2 million.
I might be in there because I think my thing lapsed last month.
They slowly but surely the Microsoft plan is executing. And big Philly over there rubbing his hands right now. Microsoft advocates. Pushing
it's
that
an
agenda.
Xbox fanboy, so.
Who you talking about? Nah.
Man, you originally, I remember meeting you in 2011.
Oh my god!
When no PlayStation in sight.
Boy, 'cause
Xbox all
it
day.
was PS3. First off, who was playing the PS3? Only person that was playing the PS3 was Nick, and he could never stay online. He was always getting booted playing that. First off, nobody was playing that garbage. He talking about it's free. I said, yeah, it's free, but it's trash. Oh yeah, that mug trash. He be sitting up there, but I don't understand. He be hot. He said, I'm wired in. I don't know why I'm saying. I said, it don't matter if you Wi-Fi or wired. That's garbage. But yeah, nobody was playing the PS3 at that time. PlayStation sucked. But
yeah, was cheap. Well, they online was always.
I definitely went back and played the first game I ever played on the PS3. I never bought one. I only had a 360. Was Last of Us. I don't think I played Uncharted first. I think I played The Last of Us first. And I had the one that you had to manually move the top. But yeah.
Oh, the Slim?
Yeah, the Slim, like the Slim after the other Slim. You know, there was first the original Slim, then there was the other Slim after that one. So that's the one I had. But yeah, they lost 2 million people. They said they're gonna bounce back though. I said obviously the rework kind of put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. I think a lot of people felt like it wasn't no value there anyway, so they just forgoed it. And most of the time, because you can play free to play games without it, they're not playing nothing else. Like anything else you play on there, they don't have any multiplayer games where you required.
Yeah.
So it's not like, I think Call of Duty will probably be the only thing where you have to have online to play on there, and even Microsoft trying to steal that from them. But at the end of the day, once our numbers came out, you know, big Philly said he ain't gonna never take it off of that. He said, why would I do that? That's y'all messing up the bag. So hopefully this Activision thing go through. He already promised he wasn't gonna never take it off the system. I think Sony need to chill out and let that go on through. I know they're gonna be worried because it's gonna be in Game Pass for free, or at least for a subscription. But you know, we'll see how impactful that is. But it wasn't just big Sony over there that was hung about subscribers. It was Game Pass too.
Game Pass losing people?
Game Pass not losing people, but Game Pass not growing as much as they wanted it to. And they saying that it's only going to be like 30% of their business, like subscription-based revenue is only going to be like 30% of the business, right? Because they said that now most additional subscribers to Game Pass are Xbox Series S people that didn't have a Sony Xbox console in general, and that the growth is going to start to slow. They are seeing like a lot of more adoption on the Series S simply because of that, what I just stated, but it's not as growing as much as they thought or expected it to, which it's understandable. A lot of people are saying that they are fudging the numbers anyway because they have that big promotion going on where you buy gold, pay $1, and you can continuously re-up like I do all the time. And you don't have to pay like the $15 a month or whatever. So who knows? All I know is Game Pass the best deal out for a subscription-based service. Bar none, even when it comes to Netflix and all that other stuff. I still find myself probably having more money thrown at me in Game Pass than any other. That's how I'm playing Plague Tale. But yeah. What do we think about subscriptions? Do we think they are interesting? Do you think that they are worth it? Do you think they're actually just bleeding money? Like from a business standpoint, would you ever open up a subscription service for games like this, the way that Microsoft has done, or do you think it's a losing man game?
I mean, like I'm gonna be honest with you. I think subscriptions and stuff is cool, but I think of it like similar to like the battle pass. It's like saturated everywhere, and they keep pulling money out your account, different things and stuff like that. So I think they have benefit, but I think oftentimes people will be more willing to. I ain't gonna say all the time. Maybe I'm speaking from my standpoint. I'd just be willing to cancel it until I really see benefit and actually going for it and getting this again. So like, if I'm not watching Netflix, I cancel it until they put something on there that kind of like reintroduce me. More specifically, your question, like Game Pass. I only got a Game Pass subscription simply because you told me it was a good deal, and because you're a Microsoft fanboy, advocate, enthusiast, whatever you want to call it. So I bought that to play those free to play games and have all the benefit of the Game Pass, but I'm not realistically utilizing the Game Pass. And likewise with Sony, people probably not really doing it because all the multiplayer games, the ones that's cross platform and stuff like that, you don't need a subscription for them. So that's what everybody trying to do now. They trying to make the game free to play and battle pass, cross platform, all that type of stuff. So it's kind of, even though they opened that channel to allow people to do that, I don't want to say it's counterproductive, but they need to have different selling points, which is probably why Sony tried to shift their agenda or not their agenda, but shift the benefit of having they PlayStation Plus, because you see, I ain't have PlayStation Plus. Like, what games do I want to go play for? If you think about it. So, I think subscriptions are cool if you actually using them, basically. So to answer your question, I think they're cool if you actually use them, but people really, really need to see the value of these subscriptions, especially when people sign to pay like $70 for games and stuff like that. And you got these other free to play games that you can just hop on and hop back off. And then you got the microtransactions in them too. So no, I'm not going to pay X amount. I don't even know how much PlayStation Plus costs at this point. You feel me? So pay that and then go pay microtransactions in a game and stuff like that. I mean, that junk kind of cooks. So
yeah, it's definitely a value there because of how much games cost now, how less time people have, how people are just playing one game solely. They're not really interested in paying for these top-notch games. Obviously, you can see that why Overwatch went free to play, because then nobody's going to really put $60 into that game at all up front. They have to do it over time. So that's what their long game is with most of these free to play stuff. And subscriptions help people still put out single like linear games and still be able to be propped up and earn some money, because a lot of people are just not, like, Evil West is not going to sell well. It's not going to be something that's like high top tier type of game being sold. Plague Tales wouldn't either, but Game Pass allow it to hit a lot of people's radar, and a lot of people are going to play it, help them become more renowned, and build their ability to create better games in the future. So I see the benefit from the business standpoint that we're providing a service for more than just our standard in-house developers. And we're also providing a large platform for people to put their games out on, indie games to big AAA games. And then we're allowing our customers to try multiple things without having to commit to something. And that's the benefit, and that's the grand scheme of it all. But from a business standpoint, money-wise, I think that situation is banking on continued support for this very expensive startup. It's very expensive probably to get these type of games to be day one in there, as well as to be on that platform for a long period of time. Like, they own a lot of the day one kind of games that come to it, but sometimes they do not. And those games are probably expensive to try to get in there day one. That's probably why it's easier to just buy a whole studio, or i.e. Activision, to add more games. I think it's probably cheaper to pay $70 billion than to continue to go down the path of trying to get high-end games to come to their day one. That's obviously a benefit for each party, but it'd be interesting to see really how much they're either losing or bleeding with this. They say they're not bleeding at all. It's just not gaining much subscribers. But yeah, I don't know about that. I think they are a little bit. What about you, Josh? What you think about these subscriptions?
I think, like you said, for Microsoft, it's a big investment. They got to put a lot of money into the infrastructure and
Mm-hmm.
licensing, and it's a continuous like business expense that's pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
I think if in an ideal situation, it will work out because it does raise their minimum like monthly like guaranteed profits.
Mm-hmm.
Because instead of people paying 60 a year for gold, they're paying 120, and um, that's good. And like they've been saying, it does change people's like buying behavior.
Oh,
Because if
absolutely.
I yeah, if it's 8 games on Game Pass and I want to play, and some of them got microtransactions, I might be more willing to dip into buying some microtransactions since I didn't have to spend $60 on the game itself. Um, so I think it is a good move. It's not one that everybody can do, and I don't even think Sony is fully able to keep up with that because I'll say that nowadays nobody cares about paying. Well, nobody thinks it's fair or justified to pay your subscription just to play multiplayer games. Like,
Right.
there's so many free to play games now, or just different ways to play. Like, if I want to play Call of Duty on PlayStation, I gotta spend $70 plus my subscription, or I just get it on PC and pay no subscription.
Right.
Um, so that on its own is not a benefit. And so if people, like Jalen, don't have anything that's multiplayer to play, I'm gonna cancel my subscription. So there has to be these added benefits to keep up with it. But Microsoft
Mm-hmm.
has, you can play it on any system, like PC, play it on Xbox, stream it to your phone,
Mm-hmm.
and offering a similar price to PlayStation. And it's like no 20 different tiers that's like confusing for the consumer. So I think Microsoft is setting up it the best it can be, but yeah, it's still gonna take time to like continuously make sure that it is profitable. But I think it's worthwhile. It seems like the best business move for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I think there is, as you were stating and how you pinpointed it really for me was when you stated that they had to change their model, right? But the benefit that Microsoft Sony did to try to change their model truly was not like a huge benefit. So a lot of people feel seen right through it, and they're trying to charge not only more, but they're not changing. Like Game Pass, it's $15. Yes, you're adding a little bit more to it, and that's only for the ultimate. But if you just buy in Game Pass, you get the games plus Gold, right? Well, sorry, I think you got to buy the ultimate to get the Gold too, right? Because it's separate still. Gold and ultimate, Gold and Game Pass is separate. It's $5 a month for Game Pass. Then I think it's $5 for Gold. But $15 you get like everything or whatever. So yes, their tiers are a little bit interesting and different too, but overall you're getting more money, more benefit with Game Pass than you ever could on the Sony's version. Day one releases would really hurt Sony, so they can't compete in that. But so they have to change the way they charge, what they charge for. And I think Jalen, you hit it on the head that ain't nobody trying to pay to you just play games online. They gotta do something special. So I totally agree, and I kind of want to see what happens because competition always breeds better for us. Um, but yeah, let's talk about something that's not so interesting, but we're gonna talk about it anyway. Apex Legends Broken Moon Map. Um, I played it. I'm not gonna start with my Debbie Downer. I'm just say Apex Legends is still Apex Legends. Have you guys had the ability to even try or look at the Broken Moon map at all? Anything?
Yeah, I
uh,
ain't been around my PlayStation in like a week, so
Yeah, yeah, okay.
no,
What
I
about you?
haven't seen anything about this season except like the first trailer for the new character.
Yeah,
Um,
Catalyst.
yeah, and I mean, it's always good to get a new map. But in our experience, their maps aren't always the best. Make Olympus permanent.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, well, at least it's I haven't seen anything about it. Broken Moon, is it actually like a different location?
Yeah,
Like
it's a
the
different
actual moon or
location.
something?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's supposed to be anyway. Don't look like it. Look like a lot of reused assets.
Mhm.
It looks like it looks okay. I think they they built it around movement characters because most of the time I am trying to get up to something or move around to grab on to something. A lot of the zip lines that are useful. You have to kind of like get to an area where you can hop on the zip line if you're not a movement character, and they built it a lot where the movement characters just have a huge advantage, and it's still big. It's like World
Mhm.
Edge size, and it's not as uniform. There's a lot of avenues that they cut off. It's not like really. It doesn't feel like a lot of freedom to move in a certain way. You have to move in a certain. You have to move the way they want you to funnel. It feels like Storm Point meet World Edge,
Where
which
there are a lot of
unfortunate.
like corridors and lanes that you gotta follow.
Yeah, and it's very tight but loose at the same time. And the zip lines would be nice if they constantly didn't allow you to like move in a certain way, or you had to go around a huge part of the map because the zip lines are supposed to be there to help you. But at the same time, you have to run to the edge to kind of get to the zip line, then hop on it, and then go back with your team. They're faster,
Mm.
but it's like it takes you out the match. It takes you out the moment, and it
Yeah, you
doesn't
gotta go
feel
out of the way
fun.
to get to it.
Yeah. And if you're a movement character like Valkyrie, you can just hop up. You can just fly up there and get to it. So it just doesn't feel fun for non-movement characters. It's unbalanced in that way, and people are already calling for tweaks. Obviously, the Apex Legends community is never happy, but I mean, what can you do? I'm kind of over the game at this point. I'm not saying that I don't want to play it, but I'm waiting for Titanfall 3. Um, I just don't
Hey,
feel
y'all heard it
like.
here first. Deontay said, give every Apex character a movement ability. Remove
That's what
that
I was thinking. When I
lifeline
was playing
drone and
Broken
give her a
Moon,
jetpack.
dude. When I was playing Broken Moon map, I said, "Bro, this will look real good if I had Titan right now. It'd be fun." But I don't have a Titan. I'm sitting around here running around playing with Loba because I like her, and it's just boring. So I was like, "Man, I'm done with this." So I didn't play it no more. And then it gets to those points again where you're just sitting there doing nothing and absolutely just waiting for something to happen. It's just so tedious and boring that I don't like it no more. I just don't. I don't know if I'm just becoming a little bit less interested in rotating and making sure I'm staying in front of the action, or if it's just feeling a little bit too
Maturity.
same. Huh?
Yeah,
That's maturity, man.
What you mean maturity?
like
You
you
go out,
outgrowing it. But I think that's a fair forward point. Like maybe you outgrow any game, but for me, I think it's time for Apex has been like samey for a while. Not that it's bad, but it's been the same for a while. And every now and then they might have like a bad season or so. And for me, I feel like we need a good like refresh of like this is not Apex 2, but Apex 1.5, where we're gonna change how we approach certain stuff. Maybe we're gonna redo some of the characters or something like that, and start fresh with like brand new stuff. That's how I feel. Otherwise,
Mm,
if they just keep coming out, new character, couple seasons later, new map, couple seasons later, new character. It's not that it's bad, but yeah, it's been like what 14 seasons of the same stuff, and it's getting old.
yeah, it's been what out
Yeah,
since 2019, February or 2020. I think it's 2019,
February
right?
2019.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
So, but they're coming up on almost the third year. Um, well, no, that's
Or
fourth year. And
Yeah, in February.
yeah, I'm not interested in playing it no more. I'm not saying I won't play it. I'm just saying that it's not fun unless I'm playing control, gun mode, maybe even arenas sometimes, but I don't like arenas either because I really have to focus. So control or gun mode is really fun to me. I feel like I have more fun and engaging more matches and moments in those than I did in a while. But to continuously make us play your battle royale that is stale at this point and really has terrible matchmaking when it comes to getting you into a good match constantly. It just feels like you're either going against some dogs or you're going against some terrible people. No in between. Never a time where I felt like, oh, this guy is just as good as I. I felt like either it was superiorly jumping around doing Wraith movements, or it's going to be somebody that's just garbage that can't turn around fast enough to get from getting shot in the head. So I don't know. Whatever the case, whatever they're doing behind the scenes, it ain't working. But overall, Catalyst is okay. A lot of people are saying that she's broken, where you can like speed through her shields or her little wall and not be impacted by it, which kind of sucks. But yeah, Catalyst is okay for definitely breaking, like slowing down the game. But honestly, we don't really need to slow down the character game right now. It kind of wants to speed it up. Catalyst kind of provides a lot of cover and unknownness, and like Broken Moon map is large enough already to the point where now she's just messing up the ability to really rotate well into another fight or third party. So she can slow it down, but once she slows it down, it kind of feels as if one, you're giving the other teams more time to recoup, or you're giving them some ability to break off from the other third party that they may have been occurring that allows her to kind of get away and then reposition and come back. And it's just kind of like you slowed it down for make a worse situation versus slowing it down to win a situation. You just made it worse. So we'll see. But a lot of people are going off with Catalyst. It's not just like she sucks at all. I'm just saying that it takes some time to get used to a character. She ain't been out that long, and also takes a lot of time for people to adjust to how she plays and really start using her to her full potential. I've seen a lot of good matches. So, hopefully that continues and that trend continues, and it allows people to really experiment with her, because that's what I really enjoy about the game is the characters a lot, and how they are very unique. But overall, man, if everybody's running into the same thing regardless of what you're doing, it's kind of just like, wow, it's boring. So but yeah, what are you guys I guess we just talked about it. Apex Legends Broken Moon map. What's the temperature on that on Apex as of now? We waiting for Titanfall.
I mean, did they say another Titanfall coming out? Because y'all keep talking about Titanfall with these jokes, but y'all get them out.
They said that it's still in the back of their mind. I would expect them to. Yeah, I would expect them to. You didn't play Titanfall 2, but you gotta play Titanfall 2 just a few more matches. Play a few more matches.
Hey, you saying too much. You don't need to know that. Let me be great.
Don't talk too much. Just play a few more matches, Gene. But hopefully, dude. I think Titanfall 2 was so refreshingly and different. And I played it a lot. I just didn't like continuously play it. I played it a lot though because I thought it was fun and it was just like a cool balance to it. And they can make great games. They can make great characters. I just think their map selection right now has been atrocious. And a lot of broken stuff that just not really great. Stormpoint and in Broken Moon back to back, just not great maps. It's kind of disappointing. And it just feels as if somebody who was very important and integral into making these stuff work well is gone. So we'll see. I think they had Kings Canyon, trash, but that was the first one. Then they had World's Edge, great, even though y'all didn't like it. I really enjoyed World's Edge. And then they came out with Olympus. I'm like, boy, these boys on the streak. And Olympus, I didn't like that much, but it was shorter. It was more action, and you could rotate really well within it. But then they started doing stuff, so I don't know.
They came off one point and pushed me away from that game, bro. I said, hey, man, what's going on here? Y'all took away my alternate. Y'all took away the Spitfire, and y'all put Storm Point on here. Like, hey, cut this off. Then they took away Lifeline Shield, too.
Yeah,
I'm out
I
this
think
mud.
I think they wanted to incorporate new different types of styles, which they succeeded. I play that game totally different than I used to play. Like I used to be able to get through it with just two guns, right? I don't play like that no more. I usually switch off, or because I have like a longer engagements, I have to use certain things. I'm always thinking about placement, and yeah, it's always been like that, but it's like even more because like I would rather pick up a G7 than a carbine sometimes just to get like the ability to hit people from afar. But yeah, I think they succeeded in places and then they didn't in others. I'm not saying that the game is bad. Plenty of people enjoy it. I'm saying that I'm kind of over it. I'm gonna play Call of Duty for a little bit, and I don't know what else I'm gonna play. I think I'm gonna go back to obviously Overwatch if we ever get time to play it. Because I said I'm not playing that game alone. But yeah, we'll see. Anything else on Apex before we move on?
They need to bring back that gun game, bro. Like that, I actually have fun with that. Other than that,
Yeah,
they
gun
can.
mode. I think they have. I think it'd be really cool to have a team deathmatch, or like a really tight knit, map because they gotta repurpose arenas. Nobody playing it. They can repurpose that into something else, like that people can have fun in and enjoy. But they just right now they're really focused on making sure arenas and the battle royale is good. But I never had an issue with arenas. I just thought it wasn't as fun as the battle royale. Now I find myself enjoying arenas more because it's more controlled. It's a lack of dead time, and it doesn't waste my time most of the time. And you are as good as you are in there constantly. You can pick the same weapons, but it's so too much randomness in the battle royale to the point where now I'm just irritated with it. So, but yeah, moving on. I did want to talk about the launch of the new, not launch, sorry, the reveal of the new AMD cards. Did you see anything about that, Josh? The AMD cards? If it's okay if you didn't.
No, I haven't.
The 7900 XTX and the 7900 XT. So, let me give you a little synopsis of what they done. So they the Radeon, so they decided to keep it simple. That's how I kind of explained it in my video. But they kept it simple. What they decided to do was create a 4K 60 card that was comparable to a 4080. They did not try to push the envelope to a 4090, nor did they even give us results against the 4090 because they know they weren't going to meet the 4090. But because of all the things surrounding the 4090, the meltdown, the power consumption, the rebuilding of your case because it's just too fat, like all the stuff for surrounding it still makes this a better choice simply because you don't have to change your power supply. It's the same amount of slots as it was before. And it doesn't require you to buy a new case. Like all of the important things that people are interested in when it comes to upgrading, because most PC players are pretty cost conscious. Like they wait for certain things, and for them to come out with this. And for the 4080, I think the 4080, I'm trying to remember how much the 4080 costs. If I'm not mistaken, shoot, what was the price of the 4080? It was set at 1100. It was set at 1200, right? These cards are $899 and $999 respectively. I hate when that happens. Never mind. I'm just going to say that there are $799 or $899 and $999. So the $999 card is on par with the 4080 and then sometimes beats it and can get to the like levels of the 4090 based off some of the stuff that they showed us. Like people had to go in and make and create the benchmarks that they did and do certain things to kind of get to the numbers that they were talking about. But basically, you're supposed to be getting a 50% increase on your abilities over the last one. So whatever that was, take it up by 50%, and that's where you'll be. Or sometimes even 75%. So overall, and in this, we're talking about the 6950 cards. These cards that came out, I think last year, or 2 years ago, whatever. I don't remember the dates, but at least I know that these cards are now providing a more bang for your buck, like a lot more bang for your buck. The 4090, yeah. I'm trying to remember I think it's like $600 more for the same, it was priced at $1,600. That's just a lot for a GPU, man. It got ray tracing and all that, but for real, like, that is not a big selling point to me anymore. I just wanted to be able to run well. Obviously, I'm not a PC gamer, but if I was in that market, I think I'll probably be going with an AMD build, like, for real. Obviously, you want to still wait for, the actual, for actual reviews to come out. But overall, I think they win because they kept it simple. I think they win because they did not deviate and make people have to go buy more things to support their new hardware. They have allowed it to slot in simply. Like, that was literally a selling point on the stage. They said easy upgrade because it was so difficult for the 4090 to be upgraded from anything else, even the 3090, because of the power consumption, because of the pins, because of the adapters, because of the size. All of this stuff created like a headache for anybody looking to be an enthusiast and buy this very powerful card. Not saying that the card isn't powerful, but what we can say at least is that this here levels the playing field, gives us the more bang for our buck, and it allows us to get a very close performance, not very close, but maybe like 20% less performance for a card, but we are definitely going to be paying a lot less, $700 less to be exact. No, $600 less to be exact. That is great, in my opinion. Like, almost double? Really? Like, no, not almost, but $600 is just a lot of money that you could be using for other things. And not having to spend that on a card is very nice. And I don't even think you can find a 4090 for that price anymore because of the Founders Editions are all sold out and you can't really get anything but the other non-Founders. So, even more money. But, yeah. They rightfully served NVIDIA a spanking. They deserved it anyway. So the 4070 card that they took off the market, the 4080 12 gig, that's probably going to be a pretty big competitor to this card. And I think the reason why they took it off is so they can reprice it and really truly name it a 4070, maybe a 4070 Ti. Which will allow it to gain performance on the 4080. And if they actually charge you like $799, $899, or $699 or $799, they can get their market share back, of course. But I'm just happy AMD didn't say this is going to be the norm now and just go with $1,600 or $1,500 and just charge people more money to gain performance. Like, they went the opposite way. The other cars, the 6950 XT, I think it was $100 more last year. They charging $100 less now. So, and you know how, where NVIDIA did. So, yeah, I'm happy. I'm not happy I'm going to go buy it, But I'm happy that at least they brought some normalcy back into the market so that people can make a sound decision. And then with Intel and their ARC stuff, actually coming out and being really good budget or decent, not really good, but decent budget options. And if you run a particular type of I forget the DirectX one it is. I don't know if it's 12 or 11, but a lot of stuff that they don't support. But at least they are also coming to the market with options, even when it comes to CPUs, because AMD came out with that whole you got to upgrade to the AM5, and a lot of people aren't really comfortable with that just yet. So looking for the next iteration. In the meantime, maybe you can go Intel, but there's a lot of AM4 mother or CPUs out there that you can deal with and tie along to these new type of cards and get a lot of performance. So yeah, super excited about it, happy about it, and glad that they were able to succeed in what they kind of talked about. The scary part is that they didn't want to tie it to the 4080 or the 4090 in like regards to like frame rates and performance. They didn't mention anything, so that worries me. So hopefully when we get the actual stuff that comes out, it's a little bit more, you get a little more comfortability. I hope you become more comfortable versus the opposite for a lot of this stuff. But yeah, that's all I had on that. I didn't want to spend too much time on it, but just wanted to give people a heads up that at least AMD is going in the right direction there.
Yeah. Hopefully the cards and the market prices can stay at the MSRP, because
yeah,
it might not be $800 in a couple months.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that too. But that is what the MSRP, that is what they're putting and signaling out there for people. So at least I give them kudos for that, obviously. Moving on. Atomic Heart is coming to Game Pass. IGN has some recent gameplay of it, and it looks amazing. Honestly, I didn't expect it to look like as good as it does. And they had like a really bad iteration of like a 4K like capture. It was just ugly. I was like, this is not 4K. But they were saying it claimed it was 4K 60. It was like, this is not 4K. But overall, like this, I don't know if you saw it. It was like a boss fight. The thing looked like the Mr. Incredible's ball. If you ever seen Mr. Incredible's, the thing that they were killing people with, like the little thing that he kept saying he had to have a Mr. Incredible test so you can make the best one. That's what it looked like. And it was speeding around the freaking thing like super fast, and like all these fluid animations were going off, and like it felt like it was running at 60 FPS. It could have been 30, but I doubt it, based off of like BioShock and the predecessor. I think those games are going to probably push to 60. But man, I was really surprised by it. It looked really fun, and it looked like the combat was really enjoyable. But overall, I was just impressed, and it's going to be on Game Pass, so you got to pay for it. It comes out February 21st of 2023. Jalen, did you play the BioShock games at all, or Josh, one of y'all?
I played a little bit of them, but no, I haven't played all of them.
Okay. I played them. That scared me.
BioShock 2? Jeez, man. This guy was strictly Pokemon, G. Huh?
Christian kids and stuff like that. I'm like, hey.
Well, I mean, yeah, BioShock 1 it's not really a survival horror game, but there is some like
scary
survival elements to it. Yeah.
It's not bad though. It's definitely for sure. But yeah, those types of games, that Clotha game where you have like those I forget what they call the abilities, but they have like the abilities on the left hand, shot your gun and stuff whatever on the right, and you kind of have that BioShock gameplay. But it looked really good, and I was kind of surprised. And it looked it hard too. Like this thing was moving and it was shaking and like they was dropping things out of it and like doing them rings. I'm like, how do you even pull to time this stuff? Because you can't see your feet because it's all first person. So I'm just like, how do you time these jumps? Hopefully it ain't a bunch of gimmicks. But overall, I was really impressed. And I suggest you guys go check it out. Unfortunately, it is locked at IGN at a bad frames, with a bad playback. But hopefully, someone else has some hands-on experience or some. I think they had like some exclusive footage, boss fight footage that came. But February 21st is not that far away. Yeah. Oh, it's 21st. I'm trying to think what comes out around that time, 21st February.
February, ain't that a little bit after Dead Space?
A little bit after Dead Space, yeah. February 2022 video game release. Something big's coming out. Dead Island 2, February 3rd. Hogwarts Legacy, February 10th. Boy, February is stacked. Oh. No, 2023. No, I said 2023. Hogwarts coming out February 2023. Dead Island 2. Yeah, Dead Island 2. Nobody cares about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot getting an update. Did you beat that game yet, Jalen? Did you beat Kakarot?
Hell no.
I did beat it.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. So Dead Island 2 Hogwarts Legacy February 10th. Wild Hearts, which is the game that that's the game from Ubisoft, the Monster Hunter clone, Atomic Hearts the 21st. But yeah. Oh, that's what was coming out. Lightfall. I think that was like 28th. Destiny 2. I did want to play the story because I actually enjoyed Witch Queen's story, but I don't want to pay $50 just for play the story because I'm not gonna play nothing else. But we'll see. If I got a little extra cash I'm running around, maybe. But I do want to play with the grappling hook. But outside of that, any updates? Anything else? Because I think I ran out of topics. I think I'm good. I don't really have anything else. Anything else y'all wanted to talk about?
Y'all make sure y'all ready for Buff Zenyatta.
Oh, I forgot about that. You were sending so much news about the Zenyatta, the dark Zenyatta, right? The bad one.
Yeah, Zenyatta brother.
Zenyatta brother. Yeah. All right, but yeah, I think he.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's like Ram Matra, whatever. He, yeah, is related to Zenyatta. Is a tank. His abilities seem like they're going to be about slowing people down or like stopping people.
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing is that so like some characters like Bastion, you can turn into like the tank when you do your super and stuff like that. But it's a temporary mode. He'll be able to switch mode. The new character will be able to switch modes just by pressing a button at any time. You can switch between your casting mode where you like, shooting projectiles, and you press the button and you switch to like your bigger like melee focus mode, and he can do that at any time. So that seems interesting. To have a character that's versatile like that. They haven't shown any, real gameplay, just a couple screenshots and a couple descriptions. But yeah, that's next season, which starts in December. So
nice.
Cool.
Nice. Yeah, I'm just excited for all the game stuff coming out. Like, yeah, it's just a lot of stuff happening right now. I'm excited for. I just got to find the time. That sucks about being old and like having a lot of responsibility. You just don't have the time, but you have a lot of fun things you want to try. And just making that time is hard. So, but I got Callisto Protocol. I got Evil West. I got Sonic Frontiers. I have Call of Duty campaign. I got like 3 more hours of that. I have God of War Ragnarok that's coming out, and more so Dead Space remake, and I want to play Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah, man. I want to play Atomic Heart. I want to finish Plague Tales Requiem. It's just a lot. Daylighting 2, oh my god, February 3rd. I just don't have any time. Oh, that's what I want. PlayStation VR. Dude, they're charging like 500. So how much? They buy like 550? Bruh, ain't nobody. I don't.
Yeah.
If ain't nobody paying for that job. I was like, bro, come on, man. I don't want.
Yeah, it's cheaper than the Meta Quest thing, but at the same time, it's still $550, and
It's the same price as the PlayStation.
Yeah,
It's more. I was like, bruh, it's an accessory for something. Why would it be more? But I get it. I mean, I guess it's. And then the fact that it's still wired, ooh, that really grabs my gears. I'm like, bruh, why am I paying that much for this? If it's like some next gen experience, obviously they're going to have the exclusive games. But overall, I'm just like, I'm over it. So I wanted to mention it. I don't want to go too much into it. But yeah. February 22nd, 2023 is when it's going to be launching. You can pre-order it in November 15th. Some people might have fun with this. I'm just not the person that's going to be having that much fun with VR, and especially not wired. Wireless VR is just so far more superior. So, yeah. But okay, that's pretty much it. I think I hear my kids yelling. So I'm going to go figure out what's going on down there. But that's pretty much it. I want to thank you guys for listening. Anything you guys want to say before we head out?
Sonic is going to be the best game that come out this month.
Hey man, say it twice for the people on the back.
Man, you keep saying
you heard
that.
Heard it here first, folks.
You're gonna have some heat come your way. God of War Ragnarok. Fortunately enough, will be coming out this year, and it's fortunate for the Dead Space remake, Hogwarts Legacy. It's gonna have to. It got to go up against them. It's gonna be going up against Elden Ring. Who knows who's gonna win? But it's fortunate for these other games out here. They gonna get cleared out. You know how Taylor Swift came out, so 1.5 billion and hit all those rappers across the head. I thought they was doing something. That's the same thing that this God of War gonna do. So just so y'all
I'm finna
know.
delay it.
Just so y'all know.
I'm finna delay it just so I don't touch Sonic.
Sonic getting throttled, bro. It's coming out the day before, but we'll see. We'll see how that happens. But I think I'm probably gonna have. I'm gonna enjoy God of War more, but I might have more fun playing Sonic because that's the new experience. I never really played a Sonic game fully through, so.
You're gonna be amazed.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We will talk to you guys next week. If you got to this part, you're the real OG. And we want to thank you as always. Find us on the platforms. Peace.